Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here, and for the last couple of days I've been changing the filters and fluids on my old 1969 case Construction King, and I've done the fuel filters. There's two of those. I did the shuttle filter. This is a hydrostatic drive, so there's a hydraulic fluid that goes through the transmission, through a cooler, through the filter. That one's been done. I've changed the main filter that filters all of the hydraulic fluid for this whole tractor. Obviously, oil and filter, that was the first thing I did. But the next thing that I have to do is change the filter on the power steering unit. There's a canister that fits on the back of the power steering pump. When I take this off, I want to modify the filler spout. There's a tube that goes into the canister that holds the filter for the power steering pump. The reason for that is I need to adjust the tension on the fan belt, and right now the fan belt adjustment arc, you know, that thing with a slot in it, the generator is all the way at the end of that slot. So I've got to modify that piece a little bit, which will allow the generator to come out and tighten the belt up maybe a ½ inch at the very most. I think a ¼ inch would do it, but I'm going to increase that slot about a ½ inch. But the main thing that is keeping me from rotating the generator out to tighten the belt is the speedo drive on the back of the generator is hitting the spout for the filler spout for the power steering pump filter canister. The canister, the spout, is rotated about as far as it can get before it hits the frame of the tractor. So let me squirt this whole area down, especially the back of the canister is just caked with grease. I'm going to spray it down with WD-40, let that sit for a while, a length of time, and then I use a weed sprayer with simple green and water combination, 50-50, and I use hot water. That works great for cleaning areas. So let me get this sprayed down, cleaned off, taken off, and I'll meet you inside on the welding table. So it took a little while to get this thing off. The bolt on the back here was held on, unfortunately, by a washer, a rubber washer that had been pressed right in there, and it was in such a place I couldn't reach up in there to pull it off. The nut came off just fine, but the rubber washer was tight around the bolt or the stud that sticks out that holds it on, and trying to get something underneath it to pull it out took quite some time. But what I found is this hole is asymmetrical. It's not right down through the center. The pump itself is offset in the main housing that bolts right to the motor. So this area down in here is pretty much just a reservoir where the hydraulic oil can be pumped through the steering system. I measured this angle before I took it off, and that's right at 45 degrees. So when the generator tack drive comes over, I'm trying to adjust the tension on the belt. I've got it done now. The tack drive comes over and hits this. So after looking at it, all I have to do is cut this off flush to the tank, and then take about maybe an 1/8 or 3/16 from here to 0 at an angle like that. That will tilt this back, and then when it's over at a 45 degree, the spout itself should miss easily the tack drive. So let me get this cut off, and I'll see how this portion is going to look, how much work it's going to be. If it's just a matter of cutting it off, grinding an angle on it, putting it back together, I'm not going to film that, and I'll just bring you back when this is welded. So there you have it. We have all of the filters changed, all of the fluids replenished. I still have to put some antifreeze in the radiator. I'll do that after I move this out. But getting the fan belt to tighten up was one of the major projects that I had. Just in changing the filters, that was something that I wanted to get done. So I moved the mounting bolt back 3/4 of an inch. That allowed the generator to come out farther, and therefore tightening the belt. In order to do that, I had to move the position of the spout on the power steering canister. So all of that was done. This thing is ready to to get some serious work done before this summer is up. So thank you very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe. I'd love to have a coffee. If I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next one.